JBL, a champion in the portable speaker market, but which of its 2022 portable speakers is right for you? So you're probably looking for a JBL portable speaker, but you can't decide which one to go for. Well, we've created this guide to simplify the 2022 JBL portable speaker lineup to help you guys make the right choice. Now today we've got the JBL Go 3, the Clip 4, the Flip 6, the Pulse 4, the Charge 5, the Extreme 3 and the Boombox 2, ranging from least to most expensive, and all available currently in JBL's 2022 range. Now today we've broken it up into 3 categories based on price. So we've got under £50, £100 to £200 and £200 plus. Now there will also be sound tests at each section for you to get a flavour of how these things sound, and a link below for a continuous sound test of the whole range. Now if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, and if you want to support us or want more help on JBL speakers or anything else audio visual, then visit us at smarthomesounds.co.uk. So kicking off with the need to knows. Price wise, we've got quite a big scale here. I also want to say we are including the Boombox 2, even though we've noticed it's now out of stock everywhere. We've decided to include it as, going off JBL historically, it's only a matter of time until they bring out a Boombox 3, and it's likely going to be an incremental upgrade. So anything we say in this video should still be relevant then. So as we can see on the Boombox 2 and on the Pulse 4, they haven't got the most updated version of the JBL logo, which means that they're probably due an upgrade very soon. Of course, we'll cover any new models if and when they arrive. Now another clear differentiator is the size difference between these. Again, a real scale here from very lightweight and portable to pretty heavy and large. Now I'll pop the sizes and weights up if you did want to pause and check that out now. In terms of battery life and charging, again, this goes up in the range. All of these speakers charge via USB-C, which is great, with the only exception being the Boombox, which charges via this dedicated DC charger. Now, from our testing, I would say all of these actually perform better than those stats when used moderately. So I'm talking 50 to 60% volume level, so battery life will of course depend on your usage. Now, one other thing to point out is that the Boombox 2, Extreme 3 and Charge 5 all have built-in power banks, so you can use them to charge up your phone while you're out and about, which is a really nice feature. One thing JBL are renowned for is Party Boost, previously called Connect Plus, I think, and that is where you can connect multiple JBL speakers, up to 150 actually, for parties and to fill spaces a lot better. The 2 entry-level options, however, don't support this feature. Sam, I think we should have a little bit of fun with this at the end of the video.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so I also want to touch on the design. As you can see, there is a distinct aesthetic for all of these speakers, and JBL are well known for creating durable speakers which you can take with you wherever you go. All are also available in a broad range of colors, so you've got lots of choice there too. Now they've all got similar form factors, design features, and this durable material which is the same across the range to make them nice and rugged. The only exception being the Pulse 4, which is a little bit less durable, but we'll come back to that in a little while. Now, all of the lineup has decent IP ratings, so hold up well against the elements, and are all IP67 rated, so dustproof and waterproof in 1 meter's worth of water for up to half an hour, with the exception of the Pulse 4 and the Boombox 2, which are IPX7 rated, meaning they haven't been tested for dust ingress but are still waterproof. But to be honest with you guys, I probably wouldn't feel that comfortable putting a speaker with lights in any form of water. That could be a bit of a recipe for disaster. Otherwise, I know you guys like to see a dunk test, but I'm also keen to see which of these float too. So let's go. Final thing to mention is the JBL app. Now all of the lineup, apart from the Go 3 and the Clip 4, connect with the JBL Portable app, and that can be used to provide software updates and turn Party Boost on. Now on the Pulse 4, you can actually control the lighting, and then all of the others here, you can just adjust the EQ in the app, with the exception of the Boombox 2. So those are the main need to knows, and I'll flash up a table now, so pause that if you'd like a little reminder. But if that's all you need to know to make your decision, then you're welcome. But for the rest of you though, let's dig a little deeper. Kicking off with the under £50 price bracket then, we've got the Go 3 and the Clip 4. Now, design fault, that one doesn't actually stand up, so that's the best you guys are gonna get. Now with smaller options in the range, they are better suited for smaller spaces and clearly won't produce the same sound performances as options higher up in the range. But if you're looking for something you can chuck in a rucksack and take away with you using a smaller garden or patio area and have a limit of 50 quid, then you'll need to choose between one of these two. Now, both weigh less than 1/4 of a kilogram, so super lightweight, and both speakers are available in 7 different colors. Now, I'll pop them up all on screen for you now, and as you can see, they kind of have this like two-tone design, which I think looks really nice. Now, again, both are IP67 rated, they have Bluetooth 5.1, and neither support Party Boost, so lots of similarities between them both. Where they differ is mainly in the battery life, design, and sound. So you get double the battery life on the Clip 4, 10 hours versus 5, which is pretty significant. So if 5 hours won't cut it, then there's your answer. An extra £15 might be worth it there. But I point out again, our tests had better results for battery life. So for example, the Go 3 lasted closer to 8 hours when listened to at around the 50% volume. So the Clip 4 obviously comes with a carabiner clip, and on the Go 3 you've got a fabric loop. So it really is personal preference as to what you'd want to use to attach these to your rucksack. In terms of sound quality, to be honest, there isn't that much in it. If you have them side by side, listening to lots of different genres, you can start to notice that there's ever so slightly more bass in the Clip 4, but other than that, they're pretty much on par in the real world. The Clip 4 has a 5 watt power output compared with the 4.2 watts on the Go 3, so not a huge jump there. And in terms of frequency response, we've got a range of 110 Hz to 20 kHz and 100 Hz to 20 kHz again, so not a huge difference. As a speaker on the whole, we found that the Clip lacks a little bit in the low end response, but makes up for that because the volume is pretty impressive for something of this size and price point, and the vocals are nice and clear. So let's give you guys a little listen then. Now we're going to do the tests in our studio for a more accurate comparison, and usual disclaimer, it's not going to sound the same over our binaural mic and over YouTube, but hopefully it should give you guys some idea. So in essence, if you're really trying to drive that cost down and you're looking for the cheapest possible portable speaker, but still decent performance, you might only need the Go 3. Otherwise, if you can stretch to $49.99, I personally think it's worth the jump, particularly for that extra battery life. On to the £100 to £200-ish price bracket then. So we've got the Flip 6, the Charge 5 and the Pulse 4 here. And this is where we really do start to step up in performance. Quick reminder that we've got 12 hours battery life on the Flip and Pulse, but 20 on the Charge. And all three also have battery indicators, which is something that I really like on a portable speaker. And actually, I think that's on pretty much all of the speakers in the lineup. So a really nice design feature from JBL. Now back to these three in particular, we've got IP67 on the Flip and on the Charge, and IPX7 on the Pulse. And all three offer support for Party Boost. We've then got Bluetooth 5.1 on the Flip and Charge and 4.2 on this Pulse. So where should we start then? Design? Well, I think that's the most striking difference between these options. Firstly, let's talk about the Pulse 4. Now, I thought I would hate this, as I normally think lights on a speaker are a little bit gimmicky, but I've actually surprised myself, and to be honest with you, I do quite like it. Now you've got different modes to choose between, and the lights also act as a volume indicator too. This is also the oldest speaker out of the whole lineup, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see an update soon. And to be honest, I think that this is more set apart from the rest of the lineup for me, almost as a subgenre, as it's the most likely to be kept around the house. As I mentioned, it's not as durable with an acrylic material, I think, rather than that durable material that we see on the other speakers. So I can see this getting scratched or possibly even shattered shattered if you were to drop it from any sort of height. So yeah, one more for around the home, and because of the lights, it actually looks better in darker environments. Okay, so let's move on to the Flip 6, a very popular model, following on from a line of well-loved portable flip speakers. I'll also point out that you can still grab the Flip 5 for a bit of a bargain now, and if you want to know what's the difference between the two of them, then check out our full Flip 6 review. But on the whole, I would say that the Flip 6 is the most convenient speaker to take out and about with you from this lineup. Perfect for holidays, days out, being in the garden, and all of that sort of thing. Again, it's got this durable fabric, which we've really put to the test in previous reviews, and it's held up all right. The travel strap too is a really nice touch, and it hints that this is an out and out portable speaker. So if you've watched our 2022 portable speaker comparison video, that you'll know this also came out on top for me there as well. Back to these then. Now the Charge 5 is what we like to call the Flip 6 bigger brother. It's clearly a step up in size, which has its pros and its cons. Now that really helps with sound performance and volume, but it's far less portable and is actually pretty weighty at almost a kilo. So not one that I'd be keen to carry in a backpack all day long. Now the design with the rubber base actually makes this better suited to being set in one spot around the home, in the garden, and things like that. On to sound quality then. So we've got a few differences in terms of spec. The Flip 6 and Pulse 4 both have power outputs of 20 watts, while the Charge 5 offers 30 watts of power. In terms of internals, the Pulse 4 is pretty different, with an up-firing transducer speaker and then a passive radiator on the bottom. The Flip 6 and Charge 5, however, both have a single frontward firing woofer and front firing tweeter, as well as dual passive radiators on the sides. So those differences alone do offer slightly different sound performances. On the whole, the Pulse 4 offers a slightly narrower sound performance, as the Flip 6 and Charge 5 have those separate woofers and tweeters to focus on the mids and high frequencies. Volume-wise, the Flip 6 is pretty comparable with the Pulse 4, and there's not a huge difference there, but the Charge 5 is a big step up. In fact, I'd say it's a pretty big step up on sound performance on the whole. It offers noticeably more bass, and I'd say it's definitely more better balanced. Vocals, however, are comparable across the three and sound pretty decent. Now, we do love the Flip 6 in the office as a great all-rounder. It goes louder than you're probably going to need for how it will typically be used, and gives a nice energetic sound with decent bass for its form factor. But let's give you guys a test to see what you think. Guys, out of these three, I would only really recommend the Pulse 4 if you're a fan of the design and if durability really isn't an issue for you. Otherwise, I think the Flip 6 is a great compact portable speaker and the sweet spot of the range, offering good sound and portability. The Charge 5 is a nice step up for those wanting something with a little bit more impact to fill a larger space and are not so bothered about portability. The power bank charging is also something that may make the Charge 5 appealing to you. Okay, and finally onto the heavy duty portable options and the £250 to £500 price bracket. So we've got the Extreme 3 and the Boombox 2. In terms of colour options, you're a little bit more limited because the Extreme 3 is available in 3 different colours, including black, camo and a metallic blue, and the Boombox 2 in black and camo. Now, to be honest, it's hard to actually use the word portable in the same sentence, as these speakers are far from portable. The Boombox 2 comes in at almost 6 kilos, which you would not want to be carrying around in a bag, that's for sure. The Extreme 3 drops right down to just under 3 kilograms, so it's a little bit more manageable. You also get a nice little 3.5mm aux-in jack on both of these, which might be enough to sway your decision if you want that guarantee of wired audio. Now, the most obvious difference in terms of design between them is that the boombox comes with this built-in carry handle. So I think this is more for moving between different spots rather than constantly being on the go with this. On the Extreme 3, you get this quite heavy duty travel strap, so you could wear this over the shoulder and take it around with you. You even get a bottle opener on the strap. Lovely little touch from JBL. Now, similar to the Charge 5, you get that built-in power bank on both options, so you can charge up your phone, but be aware that that will reduce the battery life. Now, you do get a slightly higher weatherproof rating on the Extreme 3, coming in at IP67, which is only IPX7 on the boombox, but the only difference there is with the dust ingress, and if you do spill drinks over them, they're going to be absolutely fine. Now, another quite significant difference is in the battery life, because you get 15 hours on the Extreme 3, but this increases quite rapidly on the boombox to 24 hours, so it's likely that the boombox will get through a whole weekend, whereas this might not happen on the Extreme 3. Looking at the spec, the Extreme 3 has two 25-watt woofers and two 25-watt tweeters, so a big step up from the other models that we've covered so far. But we step up again with the Boombox 2 with two 40-watt RMS woofers and two 40-watt RMS tweeters. Now, in terms of sound quality, I would say that the Extreme 3 is quite similar to the Charge 5, but everything is a little bit more amped up, so you get added bass and thump thanks to those extra drivers and passive radiators. Now, the Boombox is another step up again, and this thing really is loud. Too loud for our office at higher volumes. And I think you get good clarity and satisfying bass from both, but the Boombox isn't a particularly refined speaker and possibly not the best suited for indoor listening. When you're outside though, the Extreme 3 is great for filling a large space, and the Boombox 2 is just even better. At the end of the day, it's called a Boombox for a reason, so let's give them a listen. On the whole, I do think the Extreme 3 is going to be plenty of speaker for most people out there. However, the extra budget on the Boombox 2, you do get mega battery, incredible volume, and a very impressive sound performance, albeit in a much less convenient form factor. Now, don't forget to check out the link below for a full continuous sound test of all of these speakers, and you'll find links for each of these speakers below if we've helped you find the best option for you. Comment down below if we've helped you out. Right, let's have some fun and connect all of these speakers up then. Right, so what I reckon we do then is play some music through the Flip 6, and then we'll power the rest of them on, party boost them, and see how it sounds.
Sounds good.
That sounds so good, just that speaker. Right, Charge 5. Got that adds a lot. Adds a lot. That's bass.
So bass.
Yeah.